Welcome to the Sunlight Shopping. It is the nicest day in the sport in Sweden. It's the with Care 2017. Honor, this is Mille Pet. We'll be taking you happened in the semi-final to the 10 teams for the sport fish tomorrow. Mille brass tacks now. 9 o'clock they're going to are taking part. What's the atmosphere down there in the ballroom this evening?
It's a very tense feeling, I would say, down there. Mainly because they are their only obstacles to the title tomorrow.
Yep.
So a bit friendly, but tomorrow they all know that they are enemies, so I would say it's a very tense feeling down there right now.
Yeah, that's the way it seems to be. We passed through the ballroom a little bit earlier on. There were 180 teams out, 180 boats out today. They were all taking part in the semi-finals. Everybody battling to catch the fish that would take them to tomorrow's final, right? Now, people kind of know, you'll see tomorrow on our website when the competition starts, that we can see the catches coming in. So we kind of know who the top 15, the top 20 teams are that have a chance to take part in tomorrow's final. The rest of the guys, the other 160 teams, that's pretty friendly. But the top 20 now, it's a little bit sort of edgy. What would you have to do now? When we looked at it a little bit earlier on, there was only a few centimetres in the difference between, say, number 10 and number 12. Like, how nervous is it to be in that situation, waiting for the results?
It's extremely nervous because you must remember that you are always one cast away from getting that dream fish that will probably get you to the final tomorrow.
That's a tough call right there.
It is, yeah.
Tell me, the scores we looked at a little bit earlier on, the length matters here, right? So basically,
length is the only thing that matters.
That's the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
How many fish is it? Is it the longest fish you catch during the day? Is it 3 fish put together? How does it work in the rules?
It's the top 5 longest fish that you catch.
Okay.
And then you will take a photo of it on the measuring board.
Yep.
And send it to the competition.
Yeah, so the competition office, which is down here below us in the Sunlight Hotel, they sit there, they look at all these things, they make sure that they've been measured correctly.
Yeah.
They make sure that nobody's stretching out the fish or that they've started the fish down the other end or that kind of thing. So it is a very, very competitive sport. As I say, a lovely atmosphere here. I mean, it seems to be very, very friendly. One of the things we noticed as well was that the car park here at the Sunlight Hotel is actually full of boats today. But that, as I said, is because there's been 180 people taking part. This, of course, not the first competition of the year, and tomorrow the last competition of the year. But there have been 24 rounds that you could have qualified for this. Have you taken part? Have you competed?
No, unfortunately, I haven't. I have been too busy, but I guess that's not a very good excuse. I should have been, but it's much more fun to be here and to not be taking part of that nervousness.
And the great thing is we get a completely neutral expert here in the studio as well, having not taken part yourself. There's going to be none of this
that's correct.
Tell me about the sport of pike fishing in Sweden. You come from the island of Åland.
I am, yes.
Yes. And how big is the sport of pike fishing in Sweden? Could you be taking part in tournaments every weekend, competitions every weekend? If you wanted to.
Well, the problem here in Sweden is that you have a winter that's 4 months long.
Of course.
Yeah, so that means that there are 4 months without almost any kind of competition.
Okay.
But, from late March to early April, from all the way to like late November or early December, there are different competitions almost every weekend.
Yep.
Except from in the summer when, as well as we do, the pike also seems to be taking a little bit of vacation in the summer. So it's basically the best season is spring and autumn.
In spring and autumn, okay.
Yeah, so that's the reason why they do all the competitions in the spring and autumn.
We'll explain for our international viewers, from those from outside of Scandinavia who've never visited here, this is a great part of the world to visit, and certainly bring your fishing rod if you are going to come here. But during sort of June, July, the beginning of August, it can be very, very quiet here in places like Nyköping. Still fantastic places to visit, and you can still go fishing, but it tends to be a little bit quiet. The waters around where we are at the moment, actually we might be able to bring up the map there on the screen of the competition area for tomorrow. There we have the map of the area there. Can you tell us anything, like, is this a very sort of fish-rich area? Is it very easy to catch pike in these waters?
I would say that generally, this is considered archipelago.
Yep.
And of course it depends a bit where in the country you are fishing.
Yep.
But the waters around Stockholm, Norrköping, Nyköping, Åland, where I'm from,
yep.
that's you know, you usually catch a lot of fish, but not that many big fish.
Okay.
Yeah, and to get a fish, you know, to make it competition friendly, it have to be 50 centimeters, and that is not a very big pike. I would say that if you go fishing around these waters, you will probably get a lot of 50 centimeters long pike.
Okay, is there a big difference? We've seen there's competitions in Karlskrona, there's competitions down in the south of Sweden and up in the north of Sweden. Is there a big difference between the kinds of fish and the lengths of fish that are caught in the different parts of Sweden?
I would probably not say that there is a big difference, but you know, I think the longest fish of this competition has been 105 centimeters, approximately, if there hasn't been caught any bigger the last hour of the competition that was today. And you know, it's so easy. You know, you must always remember that you're always one cast away from that big fish. So I wouldn't say that the big issue is to catch the biggest fish. It's to catch five big pike.
This is the thing. It's catching 5 big fish, so you won't get away with just 1 fish. But that's going to be the big exciting part tomorrow. Basically, they have until about 4:30 tomorrow. That's when our broadcast will end tomorrow. The results will be made public later on that evening. But that's the amount of time that they have. I think the boats have to be back by 6 o'clock.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, they have to be in dock by 6 o'clock. Any boat arriving after 6 o'clock, that's it. They're disqualified. So that's the time they have. So you can imagine as the day goes on that they're going to have to get, you know, they might be, you know, short a meter, 1 meter, 10 centimeters, you know, that they have to go catch this big fish. Can you deliberately go out and go after a big fish? Can you change anything you do?
Of course you can. Like I would say, generally you would go a bit deeper with bigger baits.
Yep.
But I think, or at least that's what I do, and I think that many people are doing that tomorrow. They are trying to fill the paper that is your 5 fish with 5 decent pike, you know, over 50 centimeters.
Yeah, over 50 centimeters.
Over 50 centimeters.
Okay.
So that's what I think will be tomorrow, is they go out with small lures and fish it quite rapidly to get five fish on the board. And when you get that, you start to target big fish.
Okay.
Because it's always a big relief when you get the board filled with 5 pike.
Yeah. What we've seen here today is we've seen 180 boats heading out onto the water. This is the semi-finals today. They're all gathered now in the ballroom of the Sunlight Hotel here in Nyköping. They're down there. They're waiting to hear who the 10 finalists are going to be. As Mille mentioned there earlier on, we've seen the scores reported all day. It's the combined length of the 5 best fish that they've caught during the day. And we're going to have a little look later on now. It's at 9 o'clock that we're due to make this public. We had a little look at the laser show that's going on down there in the ballroom. There's going to be a few words about the sponsors, and then the teams will be presented in Swedish. When the teams are presented, we're going to grab them as quick as we can and see if we can bring them up here to the studio and ask them about their plans for tomorrow. We're going to give you a quick weather prognosis as well. Tomorrow is supposed to be dry, but it's supposed to be very, very windy. 10 to 15 meters per second are the winds we are being told about. Is the wind going to be a big factor there, Mille? Is that going to disturb people?
It's most definitely going to be a big factor, because today there has been a lot of wind out in the archipelago. And people have a huge problem just to get out on the water, basically. Yeah. Because if you decide to travel far away tomorrow, then you know that you're going to have a big, like you're going to lose time in catching pike.
Yep.
So basically the hardest thing is to get to where you are planning to fish tomorrow.
Another hard part, of course, is getting back from where you're planning to fish. I was talking to competition organiser Niklas a little bit earlier on. Apparently one of the teams taking part in the semi-finals today, they took their boat quite a distance from here. They caught all their 5 fish, and then they said they're going to take a trailer and bring the boat back. And Niklas said, sorry, you're not allowed to do that. If you do that, you're going to be disqualified. And they said, well, we're not going to get back to the harbour Nyköping in time. I said, well, I'm sorry, that's the way it goes. The rules apply to everybody. So there's no use of trailers allowed before, so that means you can't bring your boat somewhere else on a trailer and then just put it down in the water, say north or south of here, and you also can't do the same thing on the way back, right? Kind of an odd question, but is there a lot of bending the rules that goes on here? Do people look at the rules and go, because, you know, speed is very important. You don't want somebody to get to your favoured position quicker than what you do, right? So is there a lot of bending the rules that might happen here?
I wouldn't say there is no, because at least not getting to your spot in time, because the competition is the same for everybody.
Yeah.
So if you have a fast boat, well, then that's just your
the best of luck to you. You gotta go there.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't say that traveling a far away is a big issue.
Yeah.
The issue is that you should always have a lot of time in the base, catching fish.
Yeah.
So if a team decides to travel far south, they will lose time in fishing.
Yep.
So it's always a bit of mind game. What should we do? Should we stay close to the harbor to make sure that we have a lot of time to fish, or should we decide to travel a long distance south? To maybe reach better water, but to lose a lot of time in fishing.
Yeah. So it's really to maximize the amount of time with the hook in the water here. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say usually, there has been a lot of teams, due to the rough weather today, there has been a lot of teams around Nyköping. So that's why I think that tomorrow a lot of teams will decide where to go.
That was one of the things I was thinking about as well. The semi-finals today, we're soon going to hear, I know they're on the stage down there in the ballroom at the moment, and soon the 10 finalists will be presented, right? Would you expect that the 10 teams that win, will they head back to exactly the same place and try to catch the same fish again tomorrow?
That's also a big part of the plan. Should we do that? Should we not? Have we already caught the fish? Is the same fish able to take another lure next day?
Yeah.
And the fun thing about that is there is no answer, because if there was an answer to that question, everyone would do that way.
This is the thing. The fish, of course, they catch on as well. So, they're not going to get fooled by the same lure. They might get fooled once or twice or three times.
Yeah.
But eventually they're going to learn, okay, the last time that happened, I was dragged up onto a boat, right?
Yeah.
So you've got to be careful. And you've also tried, you might have to try to avoid the areas where other fishermen have been.
Yeah, exactly. So, the teams that are participating in the final tomorrow, they have, of course, they have a hint of, are we doing good? Are we doing bad? And I think a lot of teams that, they knew from the beginning that we are catching a lot of fish, we're catching quite big fish. So they are looking out for where other teams are fishing.
Okay, yeah. So they'll be looking at the catch reports from other boats, maybe boats that don't even make the final, and they go, okay, these guys, they caught, 110, 120 here, so we'll head for there as well. If you look at the kind of things, I'm not sure how much you've seen of the catch reports that have come in today.
Quite a bit, but not too much. There are no very big pike caught, but there are a couple of meter plus pike, and that's of course a huge fish in a competition.
Yeah. So that's the kind of thing that could be decisive now tomorrow, if you catch a fish like that. We are hearing that the 10 finalists are about to be presented any second now, and we will bring you over there as soon as we have it. We have our camera crew down there, and as I said, we'll bring up 2 or 3 of those teams to have a quick chat with them. From looking at the weather report today, Mille, from hearing about the catch reports and that kind of thing, if I was to put you in a boat tomorrow and say, okay, you're taking part in the final, where would you head for tomorrow? Have you any place in mind that you might go, okay, maybe we can bring up the map there again and Mille might be able to describe it for us? Maybe we're hearing on our ear there that it might be time to go over to the ballroom now and have a little listen to what they're doing down there. Here come the 10 finalists. We have very little in the way of sound there. I think that might be Niklas, the competition organisers. That is on the stage there. So in the darkness there in front of Niklas, you have the 180 teams. Some may have already gone home. I know a few people have
probably.
So the guys and girls who would be expecting to be taking part in tomorrow's finals there, listening to Niklas. They're having a listen there. He's been speaking a little bit. They have announced the results of a junior competition, which we saw a little bit earlier on there. And now,
Team Respect, Intersport Eslöv.
Now, it was a team Intersport Eslöv, I thought I heard there, which is down in the south of Sweden. Is that correct?
Yeah.
We'll see who comes up on the stage here. These are the first of our 10 finalists coming up there, greeted by a lovely laser show down there in the ballroom. And it looks like they must be sitting way down the back of the ballroom at this point in time. There we go. Niklas pointing down there with his left hand. And they're getting a round of applause as they come up there. There they are.
Well deserved.
Well deserved. These are 2 guys you would know, are they?
No, they are not. There are a lot of teams who were in the top 10 earlier today that I haven't heard of them.
Yeah.
Before.
Grabbarna har vunnit varsin Captain Morgan och Cola som standarddrinken.
There we go. The lads celebrating with a drink there.
Va? Sover Emil?
Han kom hem från Thailand igår kväll och körde hit direkt.
Okej, en applåd för Emil. Thailand igår, idag här. Han sover ikväll.
There we go, the first Swedish team. It's going to be a lot of Swedish teams there, and I know we have a lot of viewers in Sweden, so we're going to let them speak away there on the when they do get up on the stage.
Det är ett enormt ansvar att leverera ett SM till förbundet och att alla ska vara nöjda.
Niklas.
Ibland kan man glömma saker och så vidare när man är på plats. Jag fick ett sms av en Joakim Telenius som också är far till en av småpojkarna som var med Pajko i det här. Jag vill att du kommer upp på scen och en stor applåd för att du har hjälpt till under hela helgen och erbjudit dina tjänster i logistiken. Tack så hemskt mycket. Varmt välkommen Joakim.
So I'm not sure if that was, I heard a sponsor mentioned there as well, but Joakim being invited up onto the stage there. I think this is one of the junior competitors who took part in the Pike Hero competition that maybe he wasn't included in the original presentation and he's been invited up to the stage.
I think he is one of the father of the participants.
Okay, yeah.
Tack att jag fick tillbaka min väska, för det är ju hela hjärtat i det här. Jättetack.
I think he has been taking a part in the technology of the...
Välkomna tillbaka till Karlskrona, får jag säga. Du kan ge ett handtag till.
Supertack, och som tack för hjälpen så kan du gå och hämta ett par Costa-glasögon värde 2495 kronor. Varsågod.
There you go. A pair of sunglasses for 2,495 Swedish crowns.
Costa, yes.
Yeah, that's around about 250 euros for those non-Swedes watching. A pretty decent prize, it has to be said. I'm not sure how much at home the viewers at home are hearing from this, but we'll let Niklas speak there.
Strukturerat och så vidare. Vi har lite partners som vi skulle vilja komma upp på scen.
Okay, it sounds like Niklas is about to invite some of the partners of the competition up onto the stage.
Välkommen fram. Renstein Lures, välkommen fram.
Yeah, sounds like one of the lures.
Reinstein
Atlantica båtförsäkringar, ny partner för år. En stor applåd för Atlantica.
Yeah, this is Niklas thanking some of the sponsors of the competition here, both the semi-final and the final there.
Stort förtroende som jag levererar.
Yeah, we can see Esox here as well.
Från Sportfiskarna. Varmt välkommen fram.
They do a lot of fine pike fishing lures.
It is one of those sports where there's a lot of different kit needed depending on where you are and what you're doing, right? Niklas got a few more there.
Jag tror du satt på första raden, ja. Som sagt, det här är partners som är delaktiga idag. Vi har mer partners, men det är de som är delaktiga idag. Och som sagt, jag räcker över mikrofonen och snabbis
the sponsors of the competition both today and the final tomorrow. We'll hear what they have to say.
Vilken tävling. Det är så otroligt roligt att se alla er ute på starterna och ute och fiskar. Starkt jobbat. Det har varit fantastiskt att se. Och ett stort tack till alla er som är medlemmar som ger oss som organisation möjlighet att jobba för ett bättre fiske och för friska vattenmiljöer. Det känns jätteroligt. Så jag hoppas ni är peppade nu för att se vilka som har kommit vidare i det här. För att den tävling som har levererats de här åren, ni som har följt gädd-SM, som har sett det växa från ett 100-tal deltagare till att vi i år har över 1200 fiskande personer. Det är rätt mäktigt och det får vi tacka Årman för. Så ett stort tack till hela arrangemanget från oss på Sportfiskarna. Det är jätteroligt att se det brinnande gäddfiskarrangemanget ni levererar. Tack ska ni ha.
Thanking everybody for their engagement and for that particular growth and for taking part.
Atlantica, ny partner för i år. Varmt välkomna ska ni vara.
Tack så jättemycket. Jätteroligt att vara här. Vad ska man säga? Fiskare. Vi är själva stora sportfiskeentusiaster. Gillar fiske. Men framförallt, ni är en fantastisk grupp. Ni tar hand om varandra. Ni hjälper varandra ute på sjön när det händer någonting. Ni tar hand om era båtar. Och vilket stämning, vilket gäng. En applåd till alla för en fantastisk dag idag.
Nice warm round of applause for him there.
Jag får ju enormt mycket frågor på Facebook och fiskar den där jäveln någonting? Absolut. Jag vann King of Hovran, en annan tävling som jag äger, sen i våras. Ironiskt nog så var första priset försenat från Ray Marine. Och då sa jag så här, det är bäst att vi vinner den här tävlingen själva. Folk garvar lite lätt, men vi tog hem segern. Vad fan hette vi? Team Dalarna Sportfiske och 2 stockholmare. Och som sagt, jag tävlade med Steve McQuaid där uppe. Vi vann. Vi har en hösttävling att se fram emot. Sen är du en partner sen ett par år tillbaka som levererar finalbeten och lite tillbehör. Superkul. Och en växande distributör och varumärke i svensk sportfiske. En stor applåd för Steve.
Niklas thanking Steve McQueen there, talking about a competition you won earlier in the year.
Ja, jag har varit ute och krigat idag tillsammans med alla er och igår. Och det har ju blåst något fruktansvärt. Så det är många som har drabbats hårt av vinden. Det är stor sorg för många team idag. Jag hoppas att många sitter kvar där imorgon och hjälper till att heja fram de 10 som vi snart ska få veta vilka de är. Så att, tack till alla och lycka till de 10 imorgon.
There you go. Steve, talk a little bit about the wind.
Lycka till.
And wishing everybody luck for tomorrow's competition.
Bananmannen är där ute också. Jättetack och återigen välkomna till en superhelg.
Niklas thanking the sponsors and for their support. And looking forward to this super weekend of fishing here in Nyköping.
Varje år så försöker jag maxa upplevelsen för många vad det gäller helheten i det hela. Förra året var vi i Karlskrona. Jag hoppas att vi kan fortsätta vara en återkommande tävling. Men jag har 2 viktiga personer här ikväll. Dels har vi en kille som har levererat ljud och bild i 4 år till SM EDA, Catch with Care Sportfish Masters. En stor applåd för Mats.
Congratulations to Mats there, who has been filming, providing video and sound for Sportsfish Masters.
Jag bytte laserleverantör också från förra året. De här grejerna som ni har sett ikväll, det är en del av Summerburst bland annat. Och det är Skandinaviens ledande laserleverantör. En stor applåd för Johan och Laser Image.
Johan and Laser Image who've provided this wonderful laser show that has happened at the ballroom here of the Sunlight Hotel in Nyköping this evening.
Den här tävlingen är ju lite speciell. Det är väldigt mycket drivkrafter bakom det här. Det är inte gjort helt gratis det här. Det kostar enorma resurser. Vi vrider och vänder på hur vi ska få till det hela varje år för att det växer och växer. En av de ledande distributörerna och företagen inom svensk predatorfiske vill jag som sagt presentera, som också köpte titelsponsringen i år. Och det är Catch with Care CVC. Varmt välkommen Stefan Trumstedt.
Stefan here from Catch with Care, who are the headline sponsors of the competition this year. As the lasers kick in again, I think Stefan is on his way to the stage there.
A huge legendary icon in the pike fishing community in Sweden.
You can tell by the way people are clapping there. How did Stefan make his name in the pike fishing community?
He and his friend Torbjörn once did a movie called Jättfeber, where they're called,
skämt åsido, varje år sitter jag och
24
Stefan
pike exceeding the 10 kilo
lite skit.
mark in one weekend.
Så blir det en bricklunch som det blir krig om vem som ska betala.
Jättfeber,
pike fever. Pike fever, yeah.
Jättetack för det här.
Let's have a listen to Niklas and Stefan here.
Tack till Catch with Care och Leif Collin bland annat. Det är superkul. Jättetack.
Tackar själv. Vi har ju världens coolaste sport, gäddfiske. Själv brinner jag för det som 17. När Niklas presenterade Sportfish Masters för mig för 7 år sedan så hakade jag på. Jag tänkte, varför inte samla allt tävlingsfiske organiserat? Och det är vad Niklas Årman har gjort under de här åren. Och det har varit motigt. Men jag tycker att du har lyckats otroligt bra. Och nu är vi från Malmö upp till, jag tror det norrländska teamet, jag tror Niklas Hallenor från Arjeplog är den som kommer norrifrån, eller hur? Som sagt, alltså, själv tycker jag att jag kan fiska, men jag vet inte fan längre. Men i år gick den här tävlingen gick inte bra för oss. Det var tufft. Vi hade aldrig varit här och fiskat innan och det visade sig. Vind och väder. Men de som verkligen hade rekat och kan det här, de har lyckats väldigt bra idag. Det är kul att få vara med på Sportfish Matset och vi ses nästa år igen. Jajamän.
En stor applåd för titelsponsor Catch with Care. Stefan Trumstedt.
Stefan from Catch with Care there, just saying he thought he could fish, and then he saw the standard of fishing that's been going on these last 2 days.
Här idag. Och följande varumärken och sponsorer välkomna fram. Ray Marine, Costa, Comstert, Humminbird / Minkora, Dre.se, Linder och Wesker. Varmt välkomna fram.
Of course, this is very much a sponsor-driven sport. What were the fees, the entrance fees for the tournament this year? Wasn't that expensive, was it?
It's quite expensive, yeah. 350 Swedish crowns for every participant.
Okay. But then I suppose the real expense, I suppose, is the travel, it's the boat, it's all the kit that's needed as well. So the 350 crowns is sort of, you know, pales into insignificance there.
It's getting bigger quite fast when it's time for fishing.
Yep. Of course, you live on the Åland Islands. When you take part in these competitions, you bring a boat from there, or you just jump in with a friend?
Yeah, well, you sort of have to, because we have, I think there was only one team from Åland.
Yep.
So you have to arrange with
ja, som sagt, Ray Marine, huvudsponsor i år, och
you know, they have to have a place to stay for the night. They have to take the ferry over here. So it's kind of a big adventure for them to get here.
That's the thing. It's a big investment in terms of time as well. You have this situation where I've heard accents today from Karlskrona, from Malmö, from up in the north of Sweden and that kind of thing. So now they took part, the competition actually started on Friday, right? The semi-final started on Friday.
It did.
So that means that you got to get here on Thursday night. So
Thursday night, and to be here all weekend long.
So you got Thursday, you got Friday, you got Saturday. If you're lucky, you've got Sunday and then home on Monday. So it's like 5 days. You know, you got to take 3 days off from work or vacation time or whatever and travel there. Then, as I say, the boat, everything else like that. What size is the fishing community? I mean, there was a lot of people here this weekend, right? 180 teams. That would be how many fisher?
Yeah, I think there were like, I could be wrong, but like 500 plus minus.
Yep.
But I would say that it's growing fast right now.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of good other kind of competitions here in Sweden. You have, for example, King of Mälaren, Värtan Cup. There's also a lot of participants in those kind of competition. But this is, you know, this is by far the biggest in terms of how much time the participants must invest in this competition.
Under normal circumstances, I suppose, is there any tournament or a competition that takes place on one day? Actually, hold on, we'll park that question. Let's go back to Niklas. He's going to tell us who the 10 finalists are.
Allt hänger på nu. Vi har kört 24 kval. Ja, jag är på alla 24 kval och gör det här själv, bland annat. Så att det finns ingen annan som åker runt och driver det hela. Vi har fått fram, som sagt, 10 finalister för morgondagen. Jag är jättetacksam för att alla har accepterat snabba beslut från ledningen bland annat. Och det här med länsstyrelsen och så vidare. Men som sagt, återigen, vi har varit över 180 team här. En stor applåd till er själva.
Niklas asking the 180 teams to give themselves a round of applause for their efforts before revealing the 10 finalists.
Vi har 5 stycken reservteam som är superheta.
These are the 5 teams in
Vi
reserve.
börjar med placering 11 på 410 centimeter. Som är välkommen fram. ASL.
Team ASL, team number 11. These are one of the reserve teams. So there are 5 reserve teams picked out. If for any reason any of the 10 finalists can't make it, one of these teams will get their place then, yeah. So we have heard rumours of one of the teams. Now, we can't confirm anything, obviously, but until Nicholas has said it, but there was one of the teams that had doubts about if they did make it to the final tomorrow, whether or not they will be able to take part. I think there were both problems mentioned. But all of that will be revealed in the coming minutes. Let me know, Mille, if you recognise any of the guys up on stage here. I know you know plenty of people in the community.
Som sagt, det är första reservteamet. Ni får ställa er där borta, grabbar.
Niklas,
det är viktiga papper här då. 12:e placering, 405 centimeter. Andra reserv, SFK Lodarna.
This team came in 12th place today. And they are the second reserve team, just on their way up to the stage now. I suppose they have to stay. They've no choice but to stay,
yeah,
in case.
Because they wouldn't like to miss an opportunity in participating in the final tomorrow.
Yeah, I can imagine if you left here at like 6 o'clock in the morning and you were 2 or 3 hours north of here, when you got the call to say, where are you? You're going to have your boat out in the water in this, the
they're going
Sportfish Masters.
Regret that much.
Reserv håller kalla nu.
So Niklas instructed the reserves to stay ready.
13:e placering idag.
13th place.
Också tidigare SM-vinnare första året jag gjorde det här i Eskilstuna med en jävla massa fyrverkerier. Jag visste inte hur man skulle ta vägen, men jag var tvungen att maxa då också. Happy Angler 404 centimeter.
The Happy Anglers 404 centimeters in
Välkomna
total.
fram.
Previous winners of the title.
Yeah, I think if I'm not wrong, I think they won the first competition.
Okay, yeah, the first Sportfish Masters, of course, the Swedish Championship in the sport of pike fishing, and they are now the 3rd reserves. Just making their way up onto the stage there. Looks like a big team. Well, it's 3 people rather than 4. I thought that gentleman was going to sit down to his left, and he was also in there as well, but he made a slight detour there.
Fjortonde placering, 4:e reserv. 401 centimeter. Team Gäddhuve.
Team Gäddhuve, Team Pikeheads. This team came in 14th place, 401 centimeters.
So that means that they have they have caught 5 pike, which all would have been around 80 centimeters.
That's not bad
today. That's really good.
It's incredible to think that that's still not enough to make the final.
Yeah,
they only make the reserve list, so it's a very, very high standard out here today.
To catch over 4 meters in your 5 longest, that's a huge...
It's quite amazing.
Yeah, a huge accomplishment.
Sen har vi 15 placering som sagt. Ursäkta, jag har lite bihåleinflammation och halsproblem, men det släpper snart. 15 placering som sagt. 400 centimeter blankt. Team 3 krokars 5:e reserv. Välkomna fram.
Team 3 hooks, the 5th reserve team. Bang on 400 centimeters, bang on 4 meters. So exactly 80 centimeters on average there, Mille.
On their 5 longest pike, yeah.
On their 5 longest, it's incredible. As I say, I mean, you feel really, really sorry for these guys now. We're going to have to stick around here. I mean, it's a great atmosphere here. It's a great event to be at. But still, if you're a competitive fisherman, you're going to want to be out in your boat tomorrow. Right?
Yeah. Even though the
hard
conditions.
Ni är reserver. Allt kan hända ikväll. Vi ska ha 10 båtar på startfältet imorgon. Ta lite piano. Allt kan hända som sagt. Det som finns i påsarna är sponsrat utav Renstein Lures. Vi partar till oss från och med semifinalen.
Even though I think
en stor applåd för grabbarna.
Unlikely
återigen, superstarkt jobbat.
Coming in 15th place today will take part in the competition tomorrow. But you never know.
That's it. You never know. As I said, we did hear of problems with the high winds today and boats getting holed and boats having electrical problems and that. So you never know. They are the 5 teams, the 5 reserve teams now leaving the stage. So now we are about to find out which 10 teams are going to compete for the Sportfish Masters title 2017 starting at 9 o'clock tomorrow.
De 10 finalisterna. 10 finalteam som vi har sett fram emot hela året. Vi har en helt ny era framför oss. Vi har ett liveproduktionsbolag, Spox Family. En stor applåd för hela gänget och Malin. Tack så hemskt mycket för att ni är här ikväll och imorgon.
And thank you to Niklas for having us here to bring you this live broadcast and indeed the broadcast tomorrow. Of course, Spox Family producing these pictures that you're seeing. And if you think this is good, wait, you see what you're going to get tomorrow from 9 o'clock in the morning, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be here at about 8:45 going on air. We'll bring you the start and all the action throughout the day from the boats out in the field.
Det är att jag kommer vända på ordningen. Yes.
So he will take the 10th team.
Kommer presenteras först och sen går vi upp så att ingen sitter säker här idag. Förutom till 400 centimeter. Man kanske vet lite ändå, men som sagt. Vinnarteamet av semifinalen som också går förbi Bengan ställer upp här nere och tar emot nya tröjor som ska sitta på ikväll. Och imorgon under fisket är 448 centimeter. Första placering, Team Arctic Pike!
Team Arctic Pike there. Did you say 448 centimeters?
448, yes. So they are starting with the best team from the beginning.
There you go. 448 centimeters. Of course, these results are delivered from the boats as they make the catch, and then they are confirmed. So nobody really knows. People might think that they got 400 centimeters or 405 centimeters, but they don't know until it's announced by Niklas here, until it's confirmed by the competition authority here.
Tänk på att de sitter utanpå kläderna imorgon. Ni är köpta av mig nu.
So new shirts being put on over the old ones.
Ni har ju vunnit semifinalen, så att vi har gjort en specialare till er också. Att ni kommer hämta Costa-glasögon i monten också, efter ni är klara här. En stor applåd för Arctic Pike.
There you go. Arctic Pike now guarantee their place in the final, so you can never be sure until Niklas calls the name.
Andra placering, 432 centimeter, Active Outfit.
There we go. Second place. It sounded like Arctic Outfit is the name of the team there. 3 lads there on their way up to collect their t-shirts. What did he say? 430 something?
432, I think. So they had roughly 16 centimeters up to the first team.
Yep. Is that a big gap?
In pike fishing it is. I have,
Team Fiskekampen,
I don't think that there will
välkomna!
be 16 centimeters between the teams in the lower part of the league.
Team Fiskekampen coming up now in 3rd place. This is the 3rd confirmed team into the final tomorrow. I can imagine it's all very tense down there now. There's people who think, you know, maybe I got 4 or you know, 420.
And what they don't know is if the other teams caught any bigger.
Yeah, of course, yes.
They do know what they themselves caught, but they have no idea what the rest of the teams caught.
Yeah, anybody over 4 meters who hasn't been called to the reserve teams now must be very, very nervous indeed.
430 centimeter, 4:e placering på semin, Team Slips.
Team Slits, 430 slips, 430 centimeters.
So now we're down to 2 centimeters apart the teams.
Yep, so we went from 16 centimeters between 1st and 2nd to 2 centimeters between 3rd and 4th. So it's getting very, very tight here.
This is you must remember that this is only a qualifier for the final tomorrow.
Yep.
427
so now it doesn't really matter if they, as long as they're in the top 10 teams.
Yep.
But tomorrow,
välkomna fram!
This is it, of course. Like after today, we're back to 0. There's nothing carried forward from the semi-finals or anything like that.
So here we have Jiggar.nu Black.
Yeah.
They have a couple of different teams participating under the name Jiggar.nu.
Yep.
They have yellow and
det är dags att byta tröja, grabbar.
a couple of other teams.
You mentioned these guys to me before we went on air there. You were saying
yeah,
you
I
picked
did.
out these guys.
This is the only team that because me and my friend Pontus, we both did guessed our top 10s, and this was the only one that I did expect to be in the top 10, because these guys know what they are doing. Doesn't matter if it's in Karlskrona or Nyköping.
We have Spöknäckarna in 6th position there now. It is getting fairly tight.
Yeah, it is getting much tighter.
424 centimeters there. Only 4 places left in the final. See the sponsor logos there on the shirts. That's going to help us tomorrow when we're looking out at the boats. Of course, plenty of people will be out on their boats to watch the action tomorrow. We'll be bringing it all to you live on the internet here on sportfishmasters.se as we listen to the 7th team.
416 centimeter, 7:e placering, Team Snubbarna. Välkomna fram!
Team Snubbarna, 416 centimeters. Those guys look pretty confident. They were sitting right up the front of the room there, Nille. So these guys, they kind of knew.
They knew. They knew.
They knew they were in there.
They just knew it.
I can imagine now that
415 centimeter, 8:e placering, Team FPJ.
So, yeah, I was just going to say there that there's going to be an awful lot of conversations about, where were you today and where did you catch all this? Team FPJ there, 415 centimeters.
And the teams are probably not revealing too much.
No, this is one of the things that we discussed when we were planning this as well, you know, that we have to be sort of, we have to take it into account the fact that people don't want to reveal their best places, you know. Some guy might have been here on vacation with his son and sort of fishing somewhere and discovered something really good. He's going to try to keep that a secret, right? He's not going to tell everybody, right, let's go there. This is the Swedish Championship, of course. This is the Sportfish Masters.
Tur att du köpte middag ikväll då.
The guy's shaking hands there.
Nu är det 2 team kvar.
Only 2 teams left.
Det som är grejen nu, tiderna måste hållas och vi måste göra det här väldigt bra detta år. Vi ska snacka ihop oss och så vidare. Direkt nu efter denna ceremoni ska vi upp till 3:e våningen. Hissarna mittemot shoppen. Alla 5 båtarna som ska köra imorgon och samtliga 10 team ska få instruktioner vad vi gör imorgon.
Niklas telling the 10 teams.
Inga konstigheter, men nu är vi ett helt team och ett helt hockeylag nästan, om inte större. För jag hoppas den här sporten blir större än hockey. En stor applåd, bland annat för 9:e placering, 412 centimeter. Motorboat site / Guldmunkarna.
The way it will happen is that we have 5 camera teams and they will be out as we look at team Mojo Boats. Team Mojo Boats coming in 9th place there. Yeah, we'll have 5 camera teams in 5 boats in the morning and 5 camera teams in the other 5 boats in the afternoon. And again, this is one of those things that you have to be fair about it, you know, so some guys mightn't like that, they might be disturbed by having a camera team in the boat, but at least they know it's only for half the day.
Så då kan ni fylla på lite till höger här.
So team Guldmunkarna being in the
9th
position, wasn't it?
Yeah, so there's 1 team left to go. Who will get the final place at the Sportfish Masters?
10:e placering, 412 centimeter.
412
centimeter. Lika längd som 9:e placering, fast en fisk lägre i samma serie. Sista teamet som kvalar in som finalist i SM-EDA Catch with Care Sportfish Masters 2017 är Team Blockstop på 412 centimeter.
There you go, Team Blockstop, the last team in there. They've taken the 10th and final place. So now we have our 10 finalists.
We have our
clear.
10 finalists. They must be very, very nervous now that they know that they will be on live air tomorrow.
This is it. This is what it all comes down to here. The very, very first live broadcast of the Sportfish Masters. It is going to be one of those days where we'll start early. They're going to be brought up here to the 3rd floor. we're going to be brought up here. We're going to have a meeting with them. They're going to be told about the situation with the cameramen and the camera crews, camera women as well, actually, and they're going to be put in the boats with them. They're going to be bringing you all the action throughout the day with a slight break in the middle there where we're going to switch the camera teams from the first 5 boats to the second 5 boats.
Alla här nu som har gått vidare till final, i denna tävling. Vi kör ett möte direkt nu så att ni kan äta en middag i lugn och ro. Vi samlas som sagt på 3:e våningen, båtförare som ska leverera kamerateam fram och tillbaka. Och ni får instruktioner vad som gäller.
There we go. We have our 10 finalists decided. We have our 5 reserve teams decided there. Mille, looking at those teams that are out there, we mentioned a little bit earlier on today, before we went on air, that, you know, there's a few teams that you wouldn't have expected to be in there. One thing I'd like to ask you is why you think that is, and the other thing is, what can we expect from tomorrow?
I think that there can be literally anything tomorrow, because we have to remember there is going to be a lot of wind tomorrow, or at least it has been today, and even if the wind calms down a bit tomorrow, there will be a lot of old sea, as we fishermen call it. You guys probably already know what I'm talking about. And that will make it extremely hard to reach the positions where everyone wants to fish tomorrow.
Yep. So the tough part is going to be getting to that place where you want to fish tomorrow. How much will they have planned? You know, how much will they have a plan B, a new place to go?
They probably have. They have been planning for this for months. I'm almost sure about that. But, you know, they probably didn't expect that much of wind tomorrow, because as Philip mentioned earlier, there will be winds up to 15 centimeters per second. That's, or at least that's what we think it's going to be. And even if they can't get to their first place, they have a lot of different places, which is quite close to the harbor. But then they must have in mind that there are 180 boats, 170 boats, which could have fished there yesterday. And as I assume a lot of guys of you out there are fishermen, and you know what I'm talking about. You really don't want to go to another place where you know other people have fished.
So it might be the case that, they've been there, they've caught any fish that are there to be caught. The fish have caught on, they're not going for anything. You're going to have something really, really special if you're going to pull this out of the Sport Fish Masters tomorrow.
That's a fine thing about fishermen, you know. If one team goes with one kind of lure, another team can go there. The next day they maybe will do some fly fishing or fish with some rubber baits and stuff, and then you might be able to catch all of those pike that didn't bite the day earlier.
Yeah. So the ones that didn't bite today and the guys who didn't make the final, you've got to do something. You got to do something different, basically. You got to bring your A game here tomorrow if you're going to do this.
Yeah.
You know? There you go. It has been fascinating to see. We have 10 teams. We know that they're on the way up here in the elevator now. We're not going to have time to bring you any interviews with you this evening, because we got to bring them into the meeting. We got to tell them. We got to go through the rules with them for what's happening. What we can tell you is that we'll be back here at 8:45 in the morning tomorrow on Sunday to bring you the final Sports Fish Masters. How it's going to work? Milla's going to sit right here. He's going to be the expert right throughout the day. We're going to watch the catches as they come in. We're going to keep up with the leaderboard. We're going to keep up with the weather. We're going to keep up the map with a map, and we're going to bring you absolutely everything we can from out in the field. This is the first time that we've ever done this, the live broadcast, and we look forward to seeing you again at 8:45 tomorrow morning. My name is Philip O'Connor. This is Mille Pettersson. Sleep tight tonight, because you're going to have a long day with us tomorrow.